The ache for home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned, says Maya Angelou. Also, Ramdas said, we are all just walking each other home. How true those quotes are. Welcome back to my channel, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Please give me a favor and subscribe, share, and comment on my work. And please hide my video, that is a new thing on YouTube, so it can get recognized by the algorithm. Also, guys, my 2026 videos, PDFs, and financial astrology also available on my website, so as my webinars and my courses. And I promise to you, I will bring a lot more webinars this year to you. So as I am starting a subscription and Patreon community as well. All right, my dears, you can see the chart I shared with you on on the in this video, and also you have to know, if you don't know me, I'm obsessed with quotes, and actually I'm queen of the quotes. I call myself queen of the quotes, and I'm also deeply invested in asteroids and fixed stars, and also lately in Arabic lots as well. And also lately, I started to do investigative astrology. I really like it. I try to figure out things. I have Uranus exalted in Scorpio, and I love forensic astrology as well. I truly love it. And I'm going to make a webinar on financial astrology and forensic astrology by March. So both of them. And it's going to be like 20 hours, 40 hours. The financial and forensic is 20 hours, guys. All right, but I know we get back to the Cancer full moon because we're gonna talk about this. And the Cancer full moon sits on Sirius. Sirius is the dog star. It's like a second sun in the universe. So actually, the home going to become the battleground and also the medicine during this time. So what we have to know about this Cancer full moon, this is not necessarily very soft. It doesn't show up with a scented candle and a princess quote. It arrives like a tidal wave with receipts. Cancer is actually the sign of the moon, the home of the moon. So the moon is in rulership over here. So this is the purest lunar energy, the purest form of your memory, your attachment, your protection, your nourishment, and your ancestry as well. The moon is emotional survivor, the moon representing your fears, your tears, your emotion. Cancer doesn't necessarily think first, right? Because Cancer is very emotional. Actually, it remembers first. It remembers how you made them feel. It feels first. It reacts from the body before the mind, and it is also the energy around this full moon and collectively also drags us back to the essential question, which is what does safety actually mean to everyone and what does safety mean for you right now? So uh, it is actually, 2025 and 26 was really a lot of pressure, housing pressure and economic anxiety. We all felt it. And, the family dynamic for so many strained. Actually, I just got a message from one of my friends who had her 85 years old mother moved in with them, and she totally ruined the family dynamic. They only have a little girl, and she is actually an ER doctor, and the mother has dementia, and that is cognitive decline. So she is rude, and she is very demanding, and the Cancer full moon actually it's also going to remind us about how we nurture others, how we nurture ourselves, and if we can claim boundaries, right? Uh, So the 2025 was very, very heavy, but unfortunately, 2026 not going to be easy on us either. And we normalized actually burnouts and the family dynamic, as I said, it's trained also. And it was very hard to adopt for the world that kept changing. The rent prices went high, the prices on real estate, what the moon rules, it's also like incredibly high. And it's drain us. A lot of people, boomers could afford so easily buying houses, two, three, four houses, and look at their grandchildren, great grandchildren, they suffocated right now. But the Sirius fixed star is actually a very positive fixed star. It means the star of life is returning. Okay, so we're going to adjust the prices actually of the housing prices with integrity because Sirius is not only a fixed star. In ancient Egypt, actually, Sirius rising marked the return of the waters, the flooding of the Nile, and that meant renewal and fertility, and it also meant survival as well, right? Life came back after the Nile flooded the area, right? Because it was no drought anymore. But let's be honest, the floods also can destroy, we have to adapt to it. It representing like the flood with Sirius over here, we may be going to be way too emotional. And, Sirius not, and was never just a blessing over here, right? Uh, the Sirius, the dog star, is actually a spiritual sun. It's the sun behind the sun. So it amplifies truth and visibility and leadership. And actually, it amplifies the consequences of the leadership and what we did before, right? So that's what it does. It can bring success, definitely, and elevation, but only when power is exercised with responsibility. And when power isn't responsible, Syria is going to expose the rat, where the, fruit started to rot. And actually, because it's in Cancer, Sirius fixed stars in Cancer, 14 to 15 degrees, it's opposing Capricorn. What it's going to actually amplify the visibility of the rotten fruits. It's whatever Capricornian. So it's the power, it's the leadership, it's the government, right? So because of its own serious, it's not going to be the full moon sentimental. It's more than protective, right? It's not necessarily very, very gentle, but it's almost like, yes, I care for you, but care is power. And also, power without care going to collapse, right? So that is because of the full moon is representing, a closure. It is always when the moon and the sun is opposing each others in heaven, in the sky. So the feminine and the masculine, the father and the mother is opposing each others, right? So yes, it is like the system that don't nourish the life, right? And it's just pretend it's stable, it's gonna collapse. That's what it's representing right now. So what is Capricorn? Economy, workplace, family structures as well. And Capricorn ruled by Saturn, it's also lose the undeveloped land and also not just agriculture, but also real estate as well and government. So, anything that is not nurtured and there is greed, it's going to collapse. So, for example, Sirius is not going to care about branding, it cares about the truth. So the dog star, who actually does remind me right now, who is for actually in free speech in the United States. Right now, for me, that is Tucker Carlson and Candice Owen, but there is a lot more people out there who are representing free speech, but they are the the dogs, the dog stars who are barking up there and reminding us, hey, you have to be careful, because of the government is authoritarian, and if it is not going to serve the poor or the underprivileged or the public, the general public, because the moon itself representing the general public. And because it's in Cancer, in rulership, that's the family. And what is the cell of the government? The cell of the government is families. So families has to be stable. But how can it be stable, guys, if they are in surviving moods for years already? They are unsafe and they feel unsafe. It's very, very, very hard right now. So, all right, so we're going to actually talk about the economy of survivor with this moon over here. Because in collective astrology, the moon itself and Cancer itself, the foundation of your land, homeland security, homes and housing industry. Also, as I said, food security. But also, the moon itself, it's your emotional safety, your families, the caregiving, who you are giving care of others, that is your family life, your family dynamic, your domestic lives, right? So the headline is around these subjects right now. And the moon also going to show the public mood. It's representing actually the public, the average people, you and me. So, what is about over here and what we're going to discuss and what you're going to read in headlines, for example, in news. Anything about mortgages, childcare, rent, healthcare, groceries, and elder care, because we are exhausted on this area, right? And we cannot have a strong government if the cells are not strong. The mitochondrium of the cell actually is the family, right? So, all right, what's going to happen? Because of the sun is opposing the moon, that's the full moon, something going to get exposed. And what is going to get exposed? Anything which is corrupted, right? Because Sirius also going to magnify this. So something like, corruption in society, uh, places where society runs on depletion, underpaying caregivers, exhausting service workers, and actually pushing productivity like a religion, and then acting shocked when people are burned out and angry and disconnected. That's what they are doing right now, guys. So obviously the full moon is very nourishing and it's not going to fix everything right away and over one night. We have to give it a little bit of time. Usually it's 6 months, right? But this full moon is going to ask you, me, and everyone, we have to stop pretending. And we have to look into where was the damage happening in our life. So in our life or in our family lives or anywhere, in the system as well. And also, you see that on this chart over here, what I shared with you, the Sun going to conjunct with Venus and Mars in Capricorn, and we also have to talk about that as well, because the Mars actually is exalted in Capricorn, right? Venus doesn't necessarily love Capricorn. It's even if Venus rules actually Taurus and Libra, and Taurus is an Earth sign, Capricorn is an Earth sign, so they trine by sign and by energy. However, Capricorn is very cold for Venus, and obviously the full moon is opposing this, Venus and Mars. So the collective story actually is, like, for example, when the Sun is conjunct with Venus and Mars, it is something to do with your values, your desires, and your willpower as well. And it is in the sign of system and authority, and also, like ambition as well, government. So this is not really poetic over here. right? It is the sun represents the ruler, the king, the visible authority. Venus actually represents value, love, and resources, money agreements, and Mars is action, force, conflict, war. And in Capricorn, because it's exalted, it is like strategic aggression, cold determination. You can see, and in 2026, we're going to see the war is going to get escalated in the Middle East and everywhere actually. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm making a lot of videos about Europe right now and also about the Middle East. And also I'm going to make one down in Mexico, Venezuela, and those South American areas area as well. So stay with me and look for it, guys. All right, but I'm coming back to this full moon, and yes, so the sun, yes, the sun is in Capricorn, and Capricorn, as I said, also representing financial system and hierarchy and institutions and control of institution as well. So not only government, but corporations as well. But Saturn rules Capricorn, and Saturn also ambitions and, courage as well. So it's not all good because Capricorn rules the 10th house in astrology, and it's honor and reward and public image. So, it's not all bad, but actually, it could be very, very fearful and like it could bring in fears and decays as well. So what's going to happen over here? Uh, Capricorn going to ask us to be courageous. It is like we have to do what must have to be done. It is like it's not going to ask you a favor, it's going to demand you to do the work, right? And the Cancer moon, it's very mothering, right? And the Cancer moon going to ask us, all right, but let's see what's the cost over here, right? So the Cancer moon actually doesn't really want to negotiate. It's going to speak through your emotions and it's going to say, okay, so how is my family, my home going to feel if I going to, for example, fight for something or advocating for something, what's wrong, but I also have to see my family. Are they going to be actually like diminished because of my fight? So that's going to be a question over here as well. This whole entire full moon, because of the sun and the moon is opposing, it is the mother against the father or the mother against the empire, right? The heart is what it is like. It has to be led by heart and emotion, and it's going to be against the throne, against the leaders, and the people going to be against the system, the corporations. The moon going to ask us, okay, let's see who is fed, who is protected, and who is exhausted. We all going to feel exhausted, and what is the emotional cost of this progress right now? Capricorn, because it's ruled by Saturn, obviously, it says you have to endure. And Saturn still in Pisces, and it's still kicking the last degrees right now until it's going in February 13th to Aries in its fall. So, Saturn over here, it's like building some kind of structures, in um, well, something to do with the underprivileged, because Pisces is the underprivileged. So right now it's the water washing the land. Saturn is the land and the water is Capricorn over here. But okay, so Capricorn is asking you to be courageous and to be responsible and endure anything what's happening right now, the pain, the exhaustion, the disappointment. But Cancer saying, okay, we have to care for each other. Capricorn wants structure first, but Cancer says, no, 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 no. Family and life and emotion comes first, right? So there is a tension, obviously, between the invisible and the visible. The moon, it's invisible because of it's your emotion, right? So And you know what is the mythic layer over here? It's Mars and Venus, right? Because it is united in Capricorn right now and conjunct with the Sun. So as I said, it's represent desire and force, and they are merging together right now. So actually, Mars and Venus in Capricorn, it's like love becomes, like structural, desire going to become duty, and passion becomes strategy. This is where relationship turns into transactions. Like marriages, handlers. It's not actually marriages over here. Unfortunately, like even labor is going to be valued than life. Um, uh, where loyalty could be demanded, but nourishment is withheld. So we really, really have to be careful and make sure we nourish each other's. Collectively, it could show up like, we are going to be rewarded, right, for our work, but we're going to burn out. And the financial system also can profit out from family struggles. And it is happening right now, especially in the US, but I see that happening everywhere. And also, relationship could be built on obligation instead of intimacy, real intimacy. It is almost like because Mars is here and Mars is exalted, I will push through no matter what the cost. And the woman is actually replying, the cost is human. The cost is your actually children and your family. So be careful what you are doing. And unfortunately, Sirius could amplify the conflict over here, even if it's an amazing, amazing fixed star. Because but on the other hand, Sirius also doesn't tolerate hollow authority, right? It is the guardian star. It is going to test the leadership. And also, it is like, all right, let's reward those who protect life and let me expose those who actually are corrupt or there is some kind of moral conflict is that because the Capricorn sun says okay, let's see who is stronger, and Sirius with the moon over there, no, 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 let me see who is right here. And the sun, in Capricorn with Venus and Mars, wants to control. Let me see who has more power, who can control. Once I was reading a quote, obviously I'm queen of the quote, the power belongs from the ones who actually willing to take it. And it made me really upset because it seems right now. And not the one who is actually smart or knowledgeable or, there for the greater good. So yes, Mars over here, exaltation with the sun. Okay, who can control? Who can take the power? They can have it. And the moon going to be like, no, I'm on Sirius. Let's see who can nourish the whole entire community, who can actually sustain life, right? Uh, Not, I don't want power just to consume us without any kind of emotions over here. The collective manifestation could be like some kind of economic pressure with household survivor. As I said, we need to have some kind of sustainable housing, and also the market could show some kind of stability, but people definitely going to feel unsafe, and they do feel unsafe. Uh, there could be also some kind of corporate success against, worker exhaustion. For example, Amazon, Tesla, they don't pay their workers, right? And productivity could actually increase, but the health of the workers declines and they don't pay health insurance also. So it could be an issue. And also political authority against public emotion and public fatigue, right? Because the leadership totally ignoring right now the reality and how is people struggling. And it could also neglect, for example, and crack down, relationship in general. This moon also could be like value conflicts, bring in value conflicts because of the Venus and Mars both is financial system as well. So, you know, what is money actually? And so do you value yourself because you have a lot of money and value others, or do you have actually a healthy self-worth? Venus is self-worth as well, right? Security and self-worth not necessarily equals with belonging, equals with, your possession. So this is not about choosing Cancer over Capricorn. It's about actually forcing Capricorn to evolve right now, to be more generous. The moon definitely not trying to destroy the system. It is actually trying to humanize it. It's trying to make it nurturing and emotional. The system that survives by draining life is already dying, guys, right? You can see people have knowledge, people are awakened, and we're gonna fight. And Mars is exalted. So, yes, it can be build empires, but not without Cancer, not without Sirius, because then those empires going to become empty. Venus in Capricorn can create wealth, but what is wealth? Without families. And if you can share it with someone, it's infertile then, right? It's almost like the Grinch is going to die by itself, himself, because of has nothing and no one to share his wealth, and always been corrupt and sleeping on its gold, but by the end nobody loves him, kind of situation. So, Capricorn definitely leads and could be honorable, but they need Cancer to it, because leadership losses actually legitimacy if there is no Cancer energy. You always have to read the axis energy in astrology, guys. I always do that, but right now I'm reading the axis energy because of it is representing right now the moon is oppose each others with the sun, right? So definitely the collective initiation is pressure for housing reform, and also conversation around work and life survivor, and how overworked or how imbalanced actually is, some union job, for example. And also we're going to redefine success. What does success really mean to us? But leadership going to be tested, and I'm very happy for that. We also have to talk about not just the fixed star Sirius over here, but some asteroids as well. And we're going to talk about so the asteroids that actually involved by trine or square in this full moon, it's going to show us who holds the power and who holds the care and who will pay for the bill, right? So let's talk about Atira. Atira is in Scorpio and it's trining with this Cancer full moon. So the trine is supportive energy because it flows beautifully, guys. It's Jupiterian in flavor. Scorpio is the deep water, a place of truth beneath the surface. It's intimacy, it's your survivor instinct, it's trust and betrayal, depth, and also power dynamic as well. Atira carries a feminine archetype of inner authority, very receptive, truly intuitive, and embodied power that doesn't need approval from outside world. In collective terms, this trine reads like emotional intelligence returns as leadership, not performative, but it says, I'm healed and I can lead again. This is the kind of leadership that can actually hold difficult truth. This is also the signature of people quietly pulling their energy away from toxic dynamics And also, anything to do with politics and institution and in relationships. So for example, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Candice Owen or whoever, very feminine energy. Anna, the Armenian journalist, oh, I forget her name, but Anna, for example, they are the one who is representing Atira over here. And then we also have Aegle. And Aegle is in Pisces and it's going to also trine with this moon. So they are creating a grand trine. And, Aegle is actually joy and medicine and creativity. But joy and medicine and creativity used as survivor. It is the 96 asteroid, and also, it is having right now because Pisces is the ocean and it's very compassionate and truly spiritual. It's representing your mental health, addiction, hospitals, hospitality, pharmaceuticals, art, music, escapism, salvation, photography, filmography, right? And Agri over here means radiance and inner glow and brilliance, which is bringing the light to it, and the aspect also positive. So the deep meaning of this trine is your joy is going to become medicine, your creativity is going to become your nourishment, right? Rest going to become your strategy, and it's not a failure. It's not, like you are lazy or you don't have ambition. So this is what we need to do. We need to use grip therapy, like aiding or pain. So we need to actually create space for each others and heal each others, like collective. It's going to create a lot of spiritual community and even leaders going to talk about their artsy side, what they created, handmade gifts, for example. By the way, I truly value not just education, but art as well. And I love handmade gifts. And to this Christmas time again, my boys and everybody made me a lot of stuff handmade, and it is beautiful. So this is this asteroid away about it's joy and medicine, creativity and nourishment. And then we have to talk about karma, right? And karma is in Scorpio in 14 degrees asteroid karma, and also trine the moon. So these three is actually creating the grand trine. Karma is, consequences, and also it's consequences, but without panic, guys, right? Because of karma over here not going to only punish, it could actually bring in reward because it's a grand trine. And a lot of people think karma is always a punishment, and but it's not, it's cause and effect, right? It's cause and effect. So if you are creating good, eventually good will return. That's why I like my Buddhism practice, because I'm paying off and I'm paying forward even to my next life, my karmic debts. So, the Scorpio karma is about what was buried and delayed and denied, or, leverage, right? And it shows us consequences of the collective choices. What happens when carries outsourced, when family systems are strained, and when that cycle intensify and emotional labor is expected but unsupported, and that's very, very sad. So it's going to show it clearly what's happening if there is no nourishment, creativity and mothering behind, leadership. Definitely there will be a collective realization right now, and it is something about like right now I feel it is that kind of realization when it says, oh shit, like I should have actually like take care of my family and and not to work that hard because children grew up, and I lost that kind of time with them. So definitely the trine is going to make us realize we have done something which could have affected our family or loved ones on a bad way. and we need to wake up and we need to restore that kind of love in our relationship. But also, it's going to oppose from Capricorn to the, for example, there is three more asteroids actually, what we're going to talk about it. And one is the Amalfi, which is asteroid 113, and also Quar, which is asteroid 50,000, and also Dancing Angel, which is 37,530, right? And they are in Capricorn, so they opposing the moon over here, right? Because the moon is in Cancer, right? So, what does it mean, those kind of asteroid over here? For example, uh, Amalfi is nurturer, right? And also the one who fed even the gods. But it's in Capricorn right now, so it is going to become very conditional, and it will say, all right, I will support you, but you have to produce. I'm not going to give you unconditional love, unfortunately. And Quar is the creator god who signs reality into being. But in Capricorn, it's going to be like someone who is gets boxed into metrics, into rules, and in gatekeeping as well. And dancing dancing angel is actually going to bring in creativity and inspiration, right? But in Capricorn, it's obligation. So the spirit going to get squeezed, and it says you have to be practical and you have to perform. You have to edit your art because as it is, it's too emotional. It's editing, editing, editing until it's practical. So collectively, definitely this opposition is the story we are living right now, and it is like institutions demanding sacrifice by offering less nourishment. You see that everywhere, and especially in America, like all the help is taking away from the poor, and rich people doesn't pay taxes, for example. For example. So they are demanding productivity over real creativity or over people, they want profit. Doesn't matter how you feel and how exhausted are you. The DOG, not just the DOG, the Dodge actually in America let go and fired a lot of people. We don't even have enough people to control the airplanes and airports. And we have a lot of delays, we have issues, and we will see the consequences of that. It's not going to be sustainable anymore. And, also the moon going to square with Midas and Silver, those are in Aries, both of them. And both of them actually are something to do with money and luxury, right? So the what I wanted to say, the square, I wanted to talk about the square, and the square actually it's creating a friction. It's a challenge. It's Martian in flavor, On the other hand, squares always makes us to take actions. But it's very speedy, it is something to do with urgency and competition, and it's a lot of heat as well. Midas actually in mythology of turning everything into gold. So I love Midas. When I check actually prosperity in people's chart, I like to work with Tisha and Midas and silver as well, obviously. But but Midas, when it was turning everything into gold, going to lose life in the process. And silver also represent values and worth and beauty, and also obviously it's very lunar, so it's very reflective and very human and emotional as well. But the square itself, it's a burnout, right? And it could make something like, okay, the market has to be productive right now and it is aggressive, some kind of pushing over here. Let's print money. let's monetize everything and optimize everything, optimize your brand and hustle, 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 hustle. There is no soul in creations. For example, you will see even astrologers, they are not necessarily doing things from heart, but they will do it like, how much money can I monetize? Let's do more, more, more videos, and everything is going to be same and similar, and nothing, authentic there anymore. So actually, because of its squaring, the moon message going to become very blunt over here. And it is going to say, you are not valuable because you don't produce. You are actually valuable because of, you have to feel valuable because you're alive. The moon is asking you to feel worthy no matter what, no matter how much possession you have and how much did you produce. Yes. And then you can see that actually financially and politically in the housing system and the wages as well. And you will see, if caregivers are underpaid, and also obviously the public mood is going to have a turning point. So we will see that all over in the collective. And then also it is going to square because there is another asteroid, which is asteroid 26, which is Proserpina, and actually it is in Libra and it squares with the moon also. And she was the threshold working between words, right? So Libra going to bring and try to bring in peace and harmony or some kind of diplomacy and fairness as well, or signing contract as well, but it is a square. So it's representing, yes, we are signing peace deals and ceasefires, but we're not going to keep it. So that's what's happening right now. You can see that all over in the world, right? So unfortunately, it could also actually, um, have some kind of issue because Libra also rules fairness and it's fighting for equality as well. So we will see some kind of public expectation about, gender roles and also, abortion around abortion issues as well. So yes, and Sirius, we were talking about Sirius, and I truly love these fixed stars, and it is definitely going to bring in a lot of help because it's leadership and stewardship as well, and it's going to renew the focus on land and housing, and it's going to have public demand for caregiving and support caregivers as well and communities. The moon going to remember with Sirius over here what the system forget and what it ignores as well. So that's what's happening around the world. All right, guys, we're going to go one by one, every single individual rising sign, sun sign, and moon sign. So if you have an Aries rising sun, moon sign, or sun sign, first of all, I have to tell you, if you're watching that for your rising, then it's everything about you. It's the way you pretend, the way you actually, belong, the way you actually communicate and to others, and it is the way you represent yourself. And the moon is your emotions, that is your subconscious, your fears, your mother, the way you mothered and or nourished yourself, your inner child, and your sentiment as well. And the sun is your father figure, vitality, career. So, be mindful when you are watching that, what are you watching this for? But if you have an Aries rising sun and moon, this Cancer full moon going to happen in your fourth house, which is your home and your living situation, your parent-child dynamic over here, it is also ending, and it is ending matters and funerals as well. But there is going to be an emotional peak about something in your family, maybe something what was hidden. And it's going to come up to the light. Maybe you are looking for your biological parents, or you haven't, but they show up. The living situation also could actually come to a decision like, okay, we need to move, we need to renovate our house or restructure something. Don't forget, Capricorn is the opposite over here, which is structure. So restructure the basement, right? Because maybe it is flooded because of Saturn right now by transit is in Pisces, so it could represent flood. But also something between your parent and you could get intensified. I told you at the beginning of the video, my friend and I have a lot of people who taking care of their parents right now with dementia and mental illnesses, and it's changing the family dynamics. So you will need to make a decision to stay nourishing, but make the right decision for the whole entire family. Maybe you need to put them in a home, for example. It could be also like some kind of nostalgia going to hit, old memories going to surface. It's not necessarily romanticized, but it is just sitting. This is holiday season just ended, and how great was it when the children lived at home, or in my childhood, something is going to take you back. You are going to crave for quiet evenings and some kind of reset at home. You're also going to need to actually put some kind of boundaries between the family members, because you do not necessarily want everyone to get access to your place and to your peace as well. Home expenses could actually spike during this time. You will need to start to budget as well, and make sure your everything is safe financially. You are also going to crave for emotional privacy as well, and something to do with family loyalty, something to do with like inheritance might coming into your way. Someone, an authority could pass. But also your inner foundation is upgrading at this moment. You're not necessarily only going to be in survivor mood anymore. It is like, all right, we need to do something and have to initiate something. Don't forget, it is opposing Mars, exalted Mars. All right, Taurus rising, sun and moon, the Cancer full moon, it's in your third house, everything about siblings, neighbors, your familiar relatives, the closest relatives, niece, nephew, uncle, aunt. That is your neighborhood, your neighbors, anything to do with online classes. So, conversation, the way you comprehend, information and the way you speak, your conversation could become very, very emotional and turn emotional, right? So relatives going to be matters, but you might going to actually put boundaries with your siblings or with your relatives who always overstepped and never respected your rules. It could be like a message, an email you get, and it's going to become a turning point in your life. It's going to be very prosperous, and you're going to get a good job offer, or you might going to start to teach a school and start a school. Right, you are going to get louder your voice, and it's not about pleasing anyone anymore. You want to talk the truth as well. You can start journalism or newspapers right now, newsletters right now. And if you actually your car is like old, you can get rid of it right now, and you might going to schedule to buy a new car. But definitely, it could be an amazing milestone in a project, like maybe you're finishing, a writing project, a book, or a teaching project. You have enough to teach primary schoolers or preschoolers, and you just leave the job. You're not going to explain yourself, anymore to people, who actually are committed to misunderstand you. You are like, this is who am I, this is my accent, this is whatever, and don't care if you're gonna throw me, for example. And it could be also a story could be corrected right now during this time, but a story with a neighbor. So you were not talking, but right now you figure out what's happened with your neighbor, why they've been rude, and you are more forgiving right now. Uh, Definitely, you can take on to a leadership or get rid of a leadership, like if you were an HOA president and you don't want to do it anymore. Gemini rising sun and moon is going to happen in your second house, which is actually your financial security, the money what you earn, that is self-value as well, your integrity, your morals over here, the food what you eat, right? So, you might going to actually give up some kind of food that doesn't serve you anymore. You're going to become, like gluten-free or not eating meat. It could be like you are changing your diet, or you are recognizing you have allergy reaction from some kind of supplements, and you don't take it anymore. It could be also like you don't need any more validation, right? Because the full moon over here, I know finally who am I, and I don't need validation from others. I created my own security. I know my self-worth. It doesn't matter how much money I have, how much possession I have. So I recreated and rewrote over here the value. And also it could be like the full moon, you might going to get rid of a job, something that doesn't serve you anymore, paycheck by paycheck living, maybe because of you getting some kind of inheritance. And don't forget Mars, Venus, and Mars is exalted in your eighth. So, anything to do with your body and nourishment, you're going to prioritize that right now. You're going to really look what you eat, maybe start juicing as well. And there could be also some kind of, viable opportunity could get returned as well over here. It could be also like you are maybe, like some kind of inheritance coming in, or maybe a medical malpractice pays out some kind of big amount of money, and you're not going to have any more fear about stability, financial stability. You know what you can do also? Because you Taurus, you can actually declutter your house and you can live simpler. All the clutters are going out from the house and you have a more quality life as well. All right, Cancer rising sun and moon is going to happen in your first house. That is your identity. That is the mask you wear. Your identity actually going to become and go on an emotional peak over here. You're going to be very visible, right? And undeniably visible, right? No, magnified as well. Lucid dreaming, prophetic dreaming. You're going to stop performing, like, and you're going to also say, like, everything is fine. People can see the real you. You can become very vulnerable and you don't care who sees you. For example, your body signals could become very low right now. You don't sleep enough, like your hormones are quirky and of the, chart. Right now, you will feel it. Even digestion and water retention could be an issue during this time. So you really have to listen. So what else is happening over here? So the mirror is your seventh house, your significant other. You're not going to allow them to bully you or to make decision for you or even order in restaurant. You definitely know who you will become. And also you will set boundaries um, and also set boundaries without showing people what's happened with you in the childhood, right? It's Cancer. And yes, but I am like this because I got a lot of challenge. No, this is who am I and take it or leave, and that's it kind of situation. You can actually change your style right now, anything to do with branding and appearance, like what's going to really match with your inner truth and the way you are mothering. You can get pregnant or move right now during this time. Leo rising sun and moon is going to happen in your 12th house. 12th house is deeply emotional. It is something that is hidden. It is your dreams. Also it could be old wounds and grief as well, which could either surface or you are trying to let it go and heal it with hypnotherapy or some kind of retreat and therapy. And you're definitely going to need solitude to process, right? You want to get away from the social noise because it can drain you. You were exhausted and it becomes obvious. So you right now you're going to take rest and it's going to become your medicine. Rest is best when you are sick. That's what we tell to the children all the time. George says it always to the boys. They have enough from it, but that's true for you. Also something to do with the secret and private truth. Right now, it could actually reveal itself. A hidden enemy can come to a surface. You are capable actually to cut the boundaries right now. And then definitely you can go to spiritual healing therapy and some kind of support work, addiction center, where you can release old guilt or get rid of addiction. And also, behind the scene project would actually become a turning point because you are like, "Ooh, okay, I made a photography, a documentary, and soon it will be showed for the public." Your intuition going to be extreme, and it's also going to warn you about energy vampires and like people who are really draining you, and you are like, okay, I'm really cutting these people out of my life. Virgo rising sun and moon is going to happen in your 11th house. And Jupiter is here also in planetary joy and in exaltation with this moon, obviously. So, it's everything is going to become very, um, positive for mostly positive for you, not very positive, but mostly positive. At least right now you're going to see who is friends because of they want to climb the social ladder through you, and who is real and who is false, right? You can actually have some kind of more supporter who are very sincere and who wants to help you to lead, and your audience could be also really sincere and supporting you to monetize something. There could be some group opportunity that arrives, something to do with collaboration, building a platform, or some kind of collective project. It could be also something to do with non-profit as well. It could be like a friend situation triggers your caretaker reflex right away, but also you have to set limit, right? Somebody is keep asking you to help, 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 and you are like, okay, I'm done over here. I give my hand all the time, but you sit back in the mud all the time, and I don't want to go into the quicksand with you because it's going to ruin me. Your long-term goals could actually get some kind of update right now. You don't want drama in your life, especially not by friends. So you're going to detach yourself and you're going to protect your reputation. You are like, okay, I'm done over here. I'm not going to enable you to feed your insecurity, right? So it could be something to do. By the way, financial gain could come through that because this is luck, the house of luck, something to do with membership or patron community, a humanitarian project, something to do with healing, or maybe you're going to actually, your house is the bridge and you are offering some kind of workshop opportunity to people right now. Your community could become your chosen family. Libra Rising, Sun and Moon, it's going to happen in your 10th house, which is career, public image, honor, recognition, and visibility. So your visibility going to increase. It could be good or for the revealing, for the bad. So be careful not to get famous. Leadership is tested over here because of it is like, okay, are you just managing some kind of politics over here and you just want to, produce, but you don't protect the people who are standing with you and standing for you? And also there are going to be some kind of work imbalance, work-life imbalance over here, which is very hard to ignore right now. And you will need to set boundaries. A boss, a client, a public audience could be very, very emotional, and you will need to handle that with care, not to backlash. Your reputation definitely could grow only if you are compassionate and forgiving, and your career direction also can actually change right now and shift towards something with wellness, community, and also something with caregiving as well. If you have to make a public decisions, something to launch or rebrand or announce, it could be a good time for that because it's limelight, it's a full moon, it's very, very bright, right? but definitely you have to set up boundaries right now. And success has to be sustainable and not for the applause for you guys. Scorpio rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your ninth house. Ninth house is your belief, your older sibling, that is your immigration status, passport, green card, citizenship, anything to do with high study, your mentor, your gurus over here. So you might going to get rid of a mentor guru because you're not aligning with their intellectual property anymore, right? And it could be also like some kind of travel, legal, or immigration system. Anything, even with education, could come to an end. You get the green card, you were abroad teaching, and right now you're returning to home. It could also like you are ending some kind of toxic relationship with a belief system. Maybe it doesn't serve you anymore, and you're becoming, one religion to another, especially if you are marrying the second time. It could be like your significant other, the partner who you marry to, the religion is very different as yours, and you're going to convert to her or his religion. Definitely your ideology going to change, your faith going to change, but it's going to be lived with wisdom. It's more like a philosophy which is protecting your peace. And, you know, because if it is cancer, so some kind of global news or news from home, if you are, for example, live in another country, going to become very emotional. So you hear something about your country and you feel like I need some kind of humanitarian effort to relieve their pain. Yes, and definitely legal documents, applications going to need attention for you guys. All right, Sagittarius rising, sun and moon, my fellow Sagittarians. It is happening in our eighth house. Anything to do with shared money, tax, debts, loan, your spouse money, your investment. And it is something coming to fruition. And maybe you haven't done your taxes for years and you just finish it. You pay off your credit card, your debt. Or, your spouse actually could get an inheritance, for example. Also, something to do with intimacy as well. It could either intensify or some kind of trust issue can surface, and it needs some kind of healing as well. Financial truth, anything to do with a hidden cost, with an obligation to something, unequal exchange also could be revealed during this time. You can negotiate debts, debt relief, or mortgage, for example, and boundaries around who get access to what kind of things. Should we sell the land that we have, and it might be not on your name but on your spouse name. But you can go and seek for therapy, for a shrink. You can hire a detective if you have some kind of issue, or you can get an inheritance. Some kind of a family member could pass away, who an older family member, and it could actually bring you some kind of inheritance as well. So yes, and you're also going to stop funding others who are financially dysfunctioning and always asking money from you. And you're gonna be very honest, and you're gonna say, "I'm done with that. Why don't you ask money from someone else? You keep traveling, and you have better life than me, and I'm not doing it anymore." Capricorn rising, sun and moon, it's going to happen in your seventh house. And seventh house is your relationship, mirroring legal matters, and your subscribers. So definitely it could end a commitment, a conflict. It could end legal matters as well. And, anything to do with maybe a marriage as well, or, just the toxic pattern in a marriage, for example. Also client and partners, if they unmeet your desires and your needs, then you are like, okay, I'm done with this. As I said, any kind of agreements and contract needs fairness, and it needs to be nourished, right? So, for example, it could bring in some kind of protective alliances for you, a new friendship as well, because something get resolved. You ended a friendship or a business partnership, and it's going to shine some light on a new one. The bond, anything to do with contract right now can become obvious and you see it clearly. And there could be also some kind of relationship dynamic shift because of maybe with co-parenting or business partnership, but with co-parenting definitely could be like, hey, you know what, I don't like the way you are doing that with the children. Can we talk about that? And you will need support, and definitely you need receive support, but without guilt. So you have to talk about what you need. And the boundary is going to become your love language right now, and you need to focus on yourself. Aquarius rising, sun and moon, the Cancer full moon going to happen in your sixth house, which is health and work and daily routines. It is your soulmate, your pet, and your rental properties as well. So, you know, it is your health routine has to change right now. It is actually could end illness right now. You're going to become well. And if you were burnout, right, it is like I need a new schedule and it needs to be more sustainable for me and my family. My work environment has to change. I cannot work with toxicity and toxic environment. I need to set up a meditation center at work or where we can rest after, lunch. And also the coworker dynamic has to shift as well. And it is like, all right, if you are not willing to do half of the work what I do, then maybe we should not work together. Definitely, you will need more nutrition and hydration and more sleep during this time. It's not even negotiable. It will be your medicine, right? So you're not going to allow chaos right now. And you know, if your job role going to change, be happy about that because of you can get better hours and different tasks and new structures which could actually help your head. It could be something to do with a pet. You know, some of you going to lose a pet, unfortunately, or you need to take care of a pet because getting ill as well. All right, Pisces rising, sun and moon, the last one, my guys. I have my sun in Pisces, so it's going to happen for you, the Cancer full moon in your fifth house. And fifth house is anything to do with art, creativity, joy, performance, your lover, and it's also your children's as well. So it could actually bring in some kind of project, come to the end, and you can publish it. Romance definitely could intensify, you know, there some kind of truth coming out. Maybe you were not ready for the truth. Maybe you want to end the relationship. And children and parenting teams also going to become really central. You know, your children are going to need you. Or maybe if you don't have children, your inner child, you know, and you need to hear the inner child. Your children going to need more mothering, more of you, for example. Pleasure and joy could become medicine, art could become medicine, and you don't have to feel guilt around this joy, right? So that's okay. Stop feeling guilty if you enjoy life, and don't chase approval. You know, you have to create from your heart, because if you are from your heart, it's gonna become very passionate and it's going to show in your artwork, in your project, and then people going to need it. So you can attract a lot of supportive attention during this time. Make sure you are playing music and you know you watching stand-up comedy, because it could be really, really healing for you guys. All right, so we finished this, and you know what we're gonna do? We're going to do a meditation, guys. Let me see. If you want to stay with me for the meditation, then please find a comfortable place where you actually can sit for a little while and meditate with me. All right, close your eyes, please. Take a slow breath in and let it go now. Another breath, longer this time. As you exhale, feel the day loosen its grip on you. There is nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to understand, nothing you need to care about. Tonight, the moon is full and she's kind. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a warm, quiet ocean. The water is calm, the horizon is soft. Moonlight spears across the surface like silver silk. Each wave arrives gently and leaves gently. As you breathe, tiny points of light begin to glow in the water. Bioluminescence sparks swirl around your feet, responding to your presence, not because you ask, but because you belong. With each step you take into the shallow water, the light grows brighter as if the ocean recognizes you. You are safe here. In the distance, dolphins rise and fall through the glowing sea. They move effortlessly, joyfully, as if reminding you know how natural it is to trust the current. One dolphin slows near you, meeting your gaze with ancient, intelligent, and gentle humor. There is no message, just reassurance. You are doing fine. Now, from the shoreline, a path begins to form. It is made of soft light, a glowing pathway leading inland. You follow it. The air changes as you walk, cooler, cleaner, filled with the scent of rain, earth, and leaves. Ahead of you stands a vast forest, tall, living, breathing trees, their branches woven together in a great canopy. At the center of this forest rises a great tree, ancient, luminous, alive. Its roots glow softly beneath the ground, connecting everything. This is heart, this is memory, this is home. As you step beneath the tree, fireflies begin to appear, hundreds, thousands, floating slowly through the air like living stars. Each one carries a soft golden light. With every breath you take, the light feels closer, warmer, as if it is entering not just your body but your story. Now, gently, you notice figures emerging from light around the tree. They are calm, peaceful, familiar. These are your ancestors, those who walked before you, those whose life shaped yours in ways seen and unseen. They approach slowly, respectfully. No judgment, no expectation, only love. One by one they speak, not with words you hear, but with feelings you understand instantly. We are sorry for what we didn't know. We are sorry for what we couldn't hear. We are sorry for the burdens you carried that were never meant to be yours. You feel hands rest gently on your shoulders, on your back, on your heart. They are not asking you to fix the past, they are releasing it. No, they are softly. Will you forgive us? You don't need to answer out loud. Your breath is enough. Your presence is enough. As forgiveness flows naturally, effortlessly, you feel something leave from your chest, something old, something heavy. The tree responds. Its light grows brighter, flowing down through its roots and end up through its branches and into you. You are not alone, you never were. You are supported by life itself. Animals gather quietly around the clearing, gentle deer, glowing birds, peaceful creatures resting without fear. They trust this space, they trust you. You sit beneath the tree, wrapped in warmth, moonlight, and quiet belonging. Nothing is demanding of you here. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be held. You are allowed to feel whole. Now, Take one more slow breath in and let it out gently. The forest remains, the ocean remains, the tree remains. You can return any time. As the moon continues to shine, carry this calm back with you into your body, your home, your sleep. You are safe. You are loved. You are safe. You are loved. You are part of something vast and kind. And tonight, you can finally rest. Wiggle your toes. Open your eyes. Stretch yourself. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to being here with me. I love you all. See you soon with another video. Bye for now.